Everything changed after the last match. Cobra Kai didn't just lose, they evolved. Their defeat only made them stronger. And now, they've stopped playing by the Valley's rules. This time, they're taking the fight worldwide. After the fall of Terry Silver and the temporary closure of Cobra Kai, many believed the chaos had ended. But they were wrong. Sensei Kim Da-Eun, more dangerous and ruthless than any leader before her, didn't see the loss as a defeat. She saw it as a new beginning. Her vision wasn't just about owning the Valley, it was about spreading her version of Cobra Kai across the world. And now, that vision has begun. In the shadows, new Cobra Kai dojos rise across continents: Tokyo, Seoul, Rio de Janeiro, Berlin, and even parts of Eastern Europe. Trained in brutal styles and taught to show no mercy, these fighters aren't just street punks or local bullies. They are national champions, handpicked by Kim to carry her message. Cobra Kai never dies. Back in California, Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence hear rumors of something far worse than anything they faced. It's not just about rival dojos anymore, it's an organized movement. Students from the old Cobra Kai have disappeared, some taken overseas to train under elite programs. A new name begins to spread across underground fight circuits, the World Karate Union. This isn't a friendly tournament. It's invitation only, brutal, and secret. And it's where Kim wants her fighters to dominate, to destroy every form of Miyagi-Do, Eagle Fang, or anything that stands in her way. Johnny tries to laugh it off at first. We beat them once, we can do it again. But Daniel knows better. He sees what's coming. It's no longer just about teaching kids to defend themselves. This is war, global, fast, and without honor. Chozen, now permanently in the U.S., confirms Daniel's fears. He brings news from Japan. Old masters fear what she builds, he says. They call her style poison, fast to spread, slow to cure. Meanwhile, the Valley is no longer quiet. New fighters are appearing, some challenging old students in surprise matches at parks and schoolyards. Miguel and Hawk find themselves targeted, ambushed during their normal routines. These aren't simple fights. These new attackers fight like machines, trained, precise, and unshaken by pain. They don't speak much, only whisper one thing before leaving: the world will bow. Samantha, still recovering emotionally from Season 6's chaos, returns to training with fierce focus. She senses it too, that something big is coming. Robby, now closer than ever to Johnny, starts working with Miguel again. Together, they try to track these new fighters, gathering clues about where they're coming from. What they find is chilling videos from a hidden dojo in South Korea, showing children breaking wooden boards with their heads, blindfolded fights, and instructors punishing students for showing mercy. One image burns itself into Johnny's mind. The Cobra Kai logo, redesigned with sharper fangs and blood-red eyes. This isn't just Cobra Kai reborn. This is something darker in Empire Rising. Now, all eyes turn to the rumored underground event, the World Karate Union's tournament. No cameras, no press. Only the best fighters, handpicked, thrown into a brutal contest with one goal: survive and dominate. Kim Da-Eun is already preparing her champions, and she sends a message to Johnny and Daniel: enter your students, let the world see your weakness. Daniel and Johnny are faced with a choice: walk away and let the world fall under Kim's influence, or prepare their students for the hardest challenge they've ever known. Miguel, Hawk, Robby, and Sam don't hesitate. They've fought for the Valley. Now they'll fight for the future of karate itself, but one question haunts Daniel: what if they're not ready? The global stage is set. Alliances must form. Dojos must rise. And somewhere across the ocean, a fight bell rings. The epic battle of Cobra Kai Season 7 isn't just for pride, it's for survival. The world stage may be ready, but the souls stepping onto it are still searching for purpose. At the heart of it all stand the student, Miguel, Robby, Hawk, Samantha, each one carrying a legacy built through pain, honor, and endless battles. But legacy isn't enough anymore. What lies ahead is not about past glories. It's about whether they can survive what's coming. Johnny trains Miguel harder than ever, but he sees something different now in his students' eyes. Miguel is no longer just a fighter. He's thinking beyond the mat about what kind of person he wants to be in this growing war. Winning doesn't matter if we lose ourselves, Miguel tells Johnny one night after a brutal training session. The words hit Johnny harder than any punch ever did. Meanwhile, Robby carries a different weight. He once walked the line between Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do. He's felt the pull of both light and darkness. Now he fights with a fierce sense of control, focused and silent. But deep inside he worries, what if this tournament pulls him back into the version of himself he worked so hard to leave behind? Samantha trains with Chozen. She doesn't just want to fight, she wants to outthink, outmove, and outlast. She remembers the fear in her heart during her last real battle. And now, with the threat of fighters from other nations' unknown styles, brutal methods, she needs to be stronger than she's ever been. Chozen's training is unforgiving. Every strike is a lesson. Every mistake is punished with a fall. He reminds her daily, honor does not mean weakness. Hawk, still scarred from betrayal and redemption, starts doubting himself again. Not in public, not during training, but at night, when he looks in the mirror. His mohawk is back, sharper than ever, but his mind whispers, are you really strong? Or just acting tough again? While their training intensifies, news spreads fast Kim Da-Eun's students are preparing too. Not just physically, but psychologically. Her fighters don't speak unless ordered. They train like machines. They show no mercy. Each one comes from a country where violence was once used to control crowds, suppress freedom, or win wars. Now, that same violence is being turned into discipline, and Cobra Kai's new global image. Kim knows exactly what she's doing. Her mission is not just to win, it's to erase the very idea of balance, to crush Miyagi's philosophy and replace it with domination. She mocks the idea of peace in karate. To her, peace is weakness. Mercy is failure, and yet across this chaos, something unexpected begins to form. Old students of Cobra Kai, some broken, some exiled, start forming their own group. Not all believe in Kim's methods. Some want revenge on her for what she did. To Silver, one of them is Kenny, once full of anger, now unsure of where he stands. He trains in secret, caught between fear and pride, wondering whether to join her side or stand against her even if it means standing alone. Then there's the rumor that a fighter from the past is returning. Someone who once trained under Kreese, someone whose loyalty no one can guess. Some say it's Mike Barnes. Others whisper something crazier, that Kreese himself might still be alive, hiding in the shadows, waiting to strike when the world is watching. With all these forces moving, the lines between good and evil blur. Legacy means nothing if it's built on sand. And every student begins to realize they can't just follow old teachings. They must become more than what they were. They must write new legacies, one strong enough to stand when everything else falls. Daniel and Johnny, once enemies, now stand shoulder to shoulder watching their students evolve, hoping, praying that they've done enough, because this time, karate isn't just about strength. It's about identity, about belief, about who you choose to be when everything is on the line, and the global war hasn't even begun yet. Asterisk, just when they thought they understood the battlefield, new shadows stepped forward, some from the past, and some that no one saw coming. Cobra Kai's rise didn't just bring new fighters. It awakened old ones' names once feared, stories once buried. Whispers now grow louder in every dojo from California to Kyoto. Someone is returning. Someone dangerous. Mike Barnes. Once Silver's chosen champion. A man whose fists were weapons and whose soul was nearly lost to Cobra Kai's darkness. But now he's back and no one knows which side he stands on. Barnes walks into the LaRusso dealership late one night, not with anger but with a warning. They're building something darker than Cobra Kai ever was, he says, his voice lower, older, but steady. And they're not playing by your rules. Daniel watches him closely. Johnny's fists clench. Chozen steps forward. But Barnes doesn't flinch. He's not here to fight. He's here to prepare them for a storm even he doesn't fully understand. Meanwhile, in a high-tech dojo hidden beneath neon streets in Tokyo, a new name rises. The Fang of the World. It's not a single dojo, it's a secret alliance, formed by masters who believe Cobra Kai's new evolution is too wild, too dishonorable. But they don't support Miyagi-Do either. They walk a third path, one of brutal precision and unbreakable control. And they are training fighters to challenge both sides. Kim Da-Eun knows this. And she isn't scared. In fact, she welcomes it. She sees it as the perfect stage to prove Cobra Kai's dominance. Her next move stuns everyone. She opens a public challenge. Any fighter, any dojo, any style, face her champions in the first preview match of the World Karate Union. Win and gain entrance. Lose and your dojo must close forever. No second chances. Back in the valley, something unexpected happens. A letter arrives, no signature, just a date, a place, and a phrase. See you in Kyoto? Daniel's hands shake. Johnny reads it aloud. Chozen nods without speaking. They know, the ghosts of the past are gathering again, and then another rumor spreads like wildfire online. Julie Pierce, a name not spoken in decades. A fighter trained by Mr. Miyagi himself, strong, silent, and lost to time. Now, whispers say she's been seen in Okinawa, training with monks and practicing ancient techniques never taught outside temple walls. She's coming, but why, and for whom? As these forces move in secret, Kim sharpens her weapons. Her students now wear new uniforms, blood red and jet black, with no names, only numbers. They are her army, and each one is prepared to break bones, crush spirits, and leave a trail of silence. One of them, the smallest and fastest, never speaks. They call him Ghost. No one has seen his face. Some say he's just a child. Others believe he's not even human, and yet, the most shocking return hasn't happened yet. A shadow moves in the background. A man with burned hands, eyes that remember war. A master of manipulation and control, he taught Silver. He molded Johnny, and he broke Hawk. His name hasn't been heard since his escape from prison, but Kreese is not gone. Somewhere in the cracks of the world, he trains, watches, waits, because to him, this isn't just about karate. It's about legacy and revenge. With each return, the board changes. The game evolves. Students are no longer just fighters, they are pawns, kings, queens, and assassins in a silent war that's growing louder with each passing day. The valley was the beginning, the world is the prize, and no one knows who the real enemy is anymore. The world didn't blink. It held its breath. The countdown to the biggest fight in karate history had begun. In cities far from the valley, grand arenas started to rise hidden in mountain ranges. Abandoned ships, old temples reborn with LED lights and steel rings. They weren't built for entertainment. They were built for combat. And the World Karate Union's first international tournament wasn't a tournament, it was war wrapped in tradition, dressed like a show. Each fighter selected would not just represent a dojo or a flag, they'd carry the legacy of their teachers, their beliefs, their pain. And at the heart of it all stood the students we've grown with. Miguel, standing beneath an open sky, breathes slowly. He no longer trains to win. He trains to protect. The faces of those he loves, his mom, Sam, Johnny, flash in his mind like flames. He's not just fighting for himself anymore. He's fighting to make sure no one else gets hurt again. Samantha sharpens her speed and strength. Her movements are crisp, graceful, and deadly. Every strike she throws is backed by memory, the fear, the trauma, the humiliation of being hunted by Cobra Kai in seasons past. She is no longer a girl caught between styles. She is becoming something new, something no one expects. Robby faces his reflection in silence. He still doesn't know who he is. But for the first time, he's okay with that. Maybe being a fighter isn't about finding peace. Maybe it's about choosing who to stand for, even if your heart is still healing. And Hawk, always loud, always wild, has gone quiet. He studies his opponents with focus. He trains until his muscles lock up. He's not the joke anymore. He's not the sidekick, not this time. Meanwhile, Johnny and Daniel gather for one final moment of unity. Chozen stands beside them. The three bow not as leaders of their own dojos, but as protectors of a fading philosophy. They've seen karate turn into a monster before. And now they see it again, only much larger, much colder. They know this might be the last time their students fight under a banner of balance. Kim Da-Eun across the ocean watches from a tower. In silence, her army is ready. Their movements are like code-timed, perfect, deadly. She doesn't scream. She doesn't brag. She simply says one sentence to her top fighter: make them fear the mat. The World Tournament begins in Tokyo. The stage is a circle surrounded by fire with giant screens above and shadow.